finished watching the BBC Maestro portrait painting course by Jonathan Yeo. Loved it. Have it has something like 28 chapters or something, and I don't Hi, my name's Sue. I have just finished watching
2, test, test, test.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my session. Thanks so much for coming. I'm very privileged to have so many people here when there's so many great sessions going on. So I really hope that I can impart some of my knowledge and experience and some good advice for you all, and that you take something out of this. So yeah, that's my aim today. I'm Lily Smith. I'm the Chief Product Officer at BBC Maestro. I feel like a bit of a fraud amongst all of you marketers because I work more in product, but hopefully you'll also find this helpful anyway. If you haven't heard of it, BBC Maestro is a learning platform with video courses from the world's greatest experts. The platform was created to inspire your personal success. So today I'm going to talk about how you create a culture for growth. The reason why I'm talking about this is because we can spend loads of money on brilliant tools like Mention Me and Klaviyo and Optimizely and everything. We can hire people with loads of experience and we can get great consultants or advisors, but actually if we don't have the right foundation for growth, then we still may not succeed. So to avoid stifling growth, that's what I want to talk about today. I've worked for 20 years in tech companies. Most recently, my roles have been more in kind of e-commerce. So I was the head of innovation at GoCompare. I was the head of product and growth at a company called Bauer Collective. And I'm now the Chief Product Officer at BBC Maestro. One of the things I want to talk about today is some of the success that we had at Bauer Collective and how I'm taking some of that experience that we had there and into my work at BBC Maestro. I'm also not naturally a speaker. Normally I do a podcast and I interview other people, so this is not my comfort zone up here, so be kind. I much prefer asking other people questions, but I'll try and avoid that because I don't want to throw any of you guys off either. So I talked about a bit of magic that we had at Bauer Collective. During my time there, we had a bit of a breakthrough success, and yeah, you could say it was magic. Our click-through rate doubled, our conversion rate doubled, our CPA halved, our AOV increased by 30%, and our ROAS doubled. So it's like amazing results. But we didn't just get there by, doing the same things over and over again. We had to work quite hard to get to those results. We have had some smaller breakthroughs at BBC Maestro, but of course I want to see these numbers. So I've been trying to figure out what's been missing at BBC Maestro that we had at Bauer Collective that I need to kind of bring to this new team that I'm working with. What was our secret sauce? And I think we had, when I joined, which was a year and a half ago, 3 challenges that were stifling growth. I'm going to share some stories with you, and perhaps you'll recognize some of these challenges. Perhaps you'll already know all of the answers. And I'll try and leave some space at the end for questions too. So challenge number 1 was we were missing context and our purpose. There's nothing I personally dislike more than people doing work because that's what they've been told to do, which probably sounds a little bit wrong. But it is true. Like, I want people to feel it in their bones. Like, I want them to really, really care about what they're doing and to really understand why they're doing it. I had an experience about 10 years ago. I was working with a developer called George, and he'd printed this A4 page with a picture of a monkey on it, and underneath it said, "Coding monkey." And I was like, why have you printed it? Everyone else in the office was like sniggering at this and laughing. I'd come back in and they were all like, giving me shifty looks, like, what's she gonna say? I was like, why have you printed this? Like, what's going on? And he was like, well, I just do what I'm told. I'm a coding monkey. I just, the product managers, the designers, they tell me to do something, I just do it. And I was like, no. That's not why you should be doing the work that you're doing. You should be doing it because you believe in it. You know and you understand and you've learned that it's the right thing to do. And if you don't, you've had the conversations with your team and asked the questions so that you do really feel that sense of why your work is important and why you're doing what you're doing. At BBC Maestro, we're quite a young division that's grown really quickly. We're about 4 years old now. About 35 people on the team. And most of the team has been there for less than 2 years and probably like less than 6 months, actually. We've hired quite a lot of people recently. We haven't really matured our processes as quickly as the business has grown. And when I started, there were quite a few things missing. So this was about 1.5 years ago. We didn't have any product analytics installed. The team were using Hotjar every now and then just to kind of understand every now and then like how people were engaging with our products. And we hadn't like routinely collected data about how our customers were using our platform. We did, of course, have like usage data in our core DB, but only the developers had access to that, and it wasn't like in an easily queryable format. So whenever someone in the business had a question, it was really hard to answer that question. And this probably seems like really fundamental of like, yeah, of course, you need to track the behavior of your customers. But we also weren't really talking to customers, apart from a small amount of user testing that was happening, and people in our networks who we were stumbling across, who had come across us and bought a course and were giving us some feedback. We weren't routinely talking to our customers. So we didn't really know that much about our customers and their intention behind why they were buying a course. We were doing the occasional survey, so we did have a little bit of that data, but no actual conversations were happening. And then finally, we hadn't captured our mission and shared this with our team. So everyone in the business, of course, loved the concept of what we were doing. But if you asked anyone why we existed or where we were going as a business, it often was something like, we're a challenger brand for Masterclass, or like the BBC, we inform, educate, and entertain. But it didn't feel really meaningful enough to give the team that real sense of purpose. So we made some changes. We now have Mixpanel installed and have done pretty much since I started. That was one of the first things we did. And more than that, we have a data strategy, and we've added Fivetran, BigQuery, Looker Studio, Maze, and Prolific to our data stack. We've now got so much more context on how our customers are interacting with us and who they are. And these are all genuine customers here that we've interviewed and had conversations with. And we have processes as well that help us talk to the customers a lot. And one of those processes is our Voice of the Customer sessions. So has anyone heard of Voice of the Customer sessions before? A couple of nods. So I was introduced to this when I was working at GoCompare. And it was actually run by the customer service team. So the customer service team every month would play back some of the interactions that they had had with the customers. So written emails that were sent in and phone calls. They would play us back some phone calls that they'd had with customers. And so every month we were getting this really rich set of data and information about how our customers were engaging with our platform, the challenges that they were having, and the kind of people that they were. And it really helped us understand more about who they were. And so we introduced this. I actually did it at Bauer Collective as well, and then we now do it at BBC Maestro. For us, it's led by the product team, but marketing, strategy, and the B2B team also contribute to this session. And every month, we'll gather all the insights that we have from all of the different conversations or analysis that we're doing, bring it all together, and we'll play it back to the entire business. So everyone is on the same page. Everyone knows who our customers are and what information we're learning. And it's really, really helpful. And the other thing that's really helpful is some months we'll get to this session and we'll be like, oh, actually, we haven't really got very much to share. And even that is a really great signal for us that we're not paying enough attention to our customers and we're not kind of asking more questions and trying to learn new information. And finally, we now have a written mission statement as well. And our mission is to inspire your personal success with the world's greatest experts by your side. And the mission statement was put together by people in the team. It wasn't like a leadership thing. It was, collaboration between people in the team to try and extract what we were doing and why we were doing it and what mattered to our customers and what made us special. And we tend to refer to this mission when we're also having our kind of trading updates as well. So when we're talking about numbers, when we're talking about revenue, conversion rate, we'll also try and weave in a bit of our mission of like, how is this helping us achieve the purpose, like the goal that we're here for? Because I think it's very good, or it's very easy to become obsessed with numbers and just talk about numbers all the time and forget like the ultimate sort of purpose of why you're here. So I wanted to share with you, this is Sue from Canada. She's one of our customers. This actually was a video collected as part of a review, and Sue has given permission for it to be shared. And reviews, again, and collecting video reviews is also a really, really great way to understand more about your customers. So I'm just going to play this for you. Oh, no, I'm not. Let's see if I can get this to work.
Hi, my name's Sue. I have just finished watching the BBC Maestro portrait painting course by Jonathan Yeo. Loved it. It has something like 28 chapters or something, and I don't have time in my day to watch them all, so I choose to watch one a day. Being a lifelong learner, it's a moment in my day when I can get away from all the projects that I have and I do and kind of refill the well. It's been fabulous for me. I am a year into my first subscription and I have just renewed for a second. My intention in my first year was to watch all the shows. Well, there's just too many. But anyway, I've done a pretty good job and I will persist because, as I said, I love to learn and there's nothing better. Thanks.
I don't know if everyone could hear that, but she was basically saying things like she's a second year into her subscription. She wanted to watch all the courses, but she didn't have time. She likes to watch BBC Maestro at the end of the day to have a little break from all of the other stuff that she's got going on in her life. And so, yeah, just some really, really amazing context for how our customers use BBC Maestro and why they're choosing us. And, I watch something like that and it just really gives me a sense of why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and just brings a bit more meaning to the work. So, challenge number 2, vague goals by function. Does anyone recognize this one? No, that's amazing. Brilliant, I'm so pleased. I'll whiz through this bit really quickly then, because you're all clearly doing it really well. Let me demonstrate by sharing some of the initial goals that I had, and our team had when I started at Maestro.